Yeah, hello and welcome back to another episode of the School of Poultry. It's another opportunity for you to learn some of the key things that help you to succeed in poultry. And as opposed to where you just hear that it's okay to do this or that, here you also know why you are doing exactly whatever we tell you to do. All right, so poultry farmers, welcome again. And if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, you want to hit that subscribe button. If you are yet to click that like button, I think it's not too early to start clicking it. Okay. All right. So today we have something interesting to talk about, and it's more like a battle between vaccines or vaccination, and then the vaccine of vaccination, and then biosecurity. Okay. So which is better? Which should be at the top of your list, which should be, what you invest more in. Maybe you direct more of your resources, whether it is human resources or even your capital, to ensure that it is uptight. Which of these is it, vaccine or biosecurity? Should you buy one of the most expensive vaccines as against putting all your resources into ensuring that there is good biosecurity on your farm, or should you invest more in biosecurity and then maybe just take vaccines and vaccinations with levity? So here we are about to make that decision. Which one are you supposed to do? Which one are you supposed to choose? Okay, so before I even say anything, if you want to say something, okay, welcome, Mr. James, welcome, blessing. So before I say anything, I want you to just type in that comment section which one you think uh takes the win. Okay, is it vaccine? Do you believe so much in vaccine that okay, you want to ensure that you give all the necessary vaccines that you should give, and then are you on the side of biosecurity? Do you believe that you should use your food dip, you should try to do your fencing right, and all those things that biosecurity entails? Should you that try to do that? Okay, and for those who may not even understand what exactly is vaccines and vaccination, and then what exactly is biosecurity, I'd like to break that down for you. Okay, so vaccines are actually contrary to what many people see them to be, vaccines are usually that organism that is able to cause a disease, but then it has been weakened or it is cloned. It is when it is cloned, it means that in the lab we try to prepare something, an antigen that is similar, that the body of the animal can see, and it feels like it is that disease causing pathogen that they are seeing. So it's either we clone it or we weaken it and we introduce it into the bird, and instead of stimulating a disease, it stimulates an immune response such that the bird is able to war against it and then win and conquer it. All right. Good evening, Mr. Olaogun Olushola. Okay, welcome, welcome. So that is for vaccines. And for biosecurity measures are just those precautions, those measures that you take in order to prevent the introduction of a disease or the spread of that disease. Let's say the disease finds its way into your poultry, then your biosecurity measures should prevent or limit its spread. But more importantly, we say prevention is better than cure. So you try as much as possible to even prevent the introduction of such diseases to your farm. All right. So now we've explained what vaccines are and what biosecurity is. So do you really think that we should give the battle to one of them? If I would give the win to one of them, then I would choose biosecurity over vaccination. Because of course, apart from the fact that you can actually practice organic poultry farming without using vaccines and you still do excellently well, we can say that biosecurity swallows vaccination. Yeah, it's more like a bigger umbrella, as I would say. It's more like a bigger umbrella. And if you really look at it critically, vaccination may actually be one of the biosecurity measures that you even take on your farm to prevent diseases. Because, yeah, you are trying to prepare your animals, you are trying to prepare your chickens as a poultry farmer for specific pathogens, for specific diseases that probably are endemic in that area. That is, you may not be able to do without them. Before you raise one, two, three batches of broiler, you are bound to experience CRD, chronic respiratory disease. You are bound to experience coccidiosis. So it is only a wise decision for you. Yeah, thank you. I'm seeing people saying biosecurity for me. Okay, all right. So it only makes sense for you as a poultry farmer to want to prevent diseases from harming your flock. It makes sense for you as a poultry farmer to want to give a vaccine that will actually address those common diseases. A disease that is common is a disease that you, before you know it, before you raise two, three batches of broilers, they will surface. So because you know the chance of encountering or the chance of coming, okay, the chance of having to battle with this disease is so high. So you try as much as possible to prepare your birds before they come. So that's the purpose of vaccine, and that falls under biosecurity because it's a set of rules, it's a set of measures. And in the way that I explain biosecurity, I talk about the conceptual biosecurity, the structural biosecurity, and the operational biosecurity. So if you are vaccinating, it falls under the operational biosecurity. What are the things that you do in your operations to actually prevent the introduction of diseases on your farm? So, in case you have not been very uptight, or if you have not been taking biosecurity seriously before, you have to do that from now on. I've been to farms and a lot of them are trying, especially the foot deep of a thing, and this putting signs and informing visitors to not pass a particular area. That's brilliant. That's okay. A lot of people use their food deep, even though some don't change the water on a daily basis, and that's the recommended practice. You have to change the water and add fresh disinfectant solution into the water. So some, they leave it, they actually have that food deep, but there's nothing inside. There's no disinfectant inside. There's no water at all. It's just dry. Some you even see wood shavings, you see sawdust, you see the chicken feces, you see waste all over inside the food deep. So they actually, maybe they're using it for something else. So I don't support that. It's good that you continue. It is consistency that helps you to win the battle or the fight against diseases. If you are not consistent, if you are creating so much loopholes, then that means diseases are bound to come in one way or another. Okay, so in a situation where we have, or in the world where the bacterial load, the infection, or the infective dose of a particular organism is on the rise, you have to be on your toes trying to prevent your chickens against those diseases. All right, so that's it. If you have any question on biosecurity, or you have any concern as far as biosecurity and vaccines are concerned, please just leave that in the comment section. This is more like a simple discussion, vaccine. So even if you think that it's vaccine for you, just let's hear your opinion in the comment section, and we'll try to reason together. But as far as I'm concerned, biosecurity is the big deal for me. Okay, what about those who are practicing organic poultry farming? In case you are not aware, yeah, we've talked about both biosecurity and then um, vaccines. So, in case you are not aware, there's something coming up soon. You will have the organic poultry course. I've had the organic poultry course before, No, but it's in a text format. But now we are introducing it in as a video masterclass. So what it means is that you get to see, all right, that's it on the screen there. So what it means is that you get to see the process of producing these apps, and I'm introducing new set of formulas, a new set of formula for mixing your apps. These are very effective. They have been tried and tested, and they are found to be very effective. So it's a video edition. I have the egg production masterclass, I have the raising products like a pro masterclass. I have also decided to make the organic poultry course into a video course so that you can relate better, so that you can see things as they are. You can watch and understand better. So if you are interested in enrolling for the organic poultry course, it's only 15,000 naira for those who will be among the first 50. These are the early birds, and then subsequently it's going to be 25,000 naira. And of course, those who have taken the text format, I have about 600 students for that, or six over 600 students for that. For those ones, you would be paying only 5,000 naira. But let's not, excuse me, let's not get it confused. If you have taken the text format, that's when you are to pay 5,000 naira. If you haven't, you are registering afresh, but you have the a very short window actually, because that 50 uh, persons that will be taking the 15,000 naira slot, we are almost reaching that number. So you want to be among those who will be taking the early bird slot. All right. So if you have any question as regards this, let me know. So I was saying, in comparing vaccination and biosecurity, what about those who are practicing organic poultry farming? You know, some of them, when you're taking things to the next level, you don't even use vaccines. You know, when you're starting, I advise that you use vaccines. But after a while, once you have mastered it and your biosecurity is top notch, yeah, you know what you are doing, then you can say, okay, I'm not using these vaccines. I can do without them. Okay, so in that case, we can see clearly that even if we want to give the win to one of those two, vaccines or biosecurity, then we'll just give it to vaccine. No, we'll give it to biosecurity because it's the big umbrella. All right. So I'm trying to see a question here. Well, I don't think this will fly. I think this person is asking if we can use chicken vaccines on human, No, 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 I don't think so. I don't think so. Not many diseases in chickens are even found in humans, so I think that is far away from being um, true. Okay, okay, I'm trying to see another one here. I don't quite understand this. We use apple cider vinegar in our waters, keep them clean off ground. I don't quite get it, so if you can make it clearer, please do. All right, so good. This person is saying, I have an archery in Hawaii. We use biosecurity, no vaccination or medicated feed. Yeah, that's more like saying organic poultry is possible. Poultry is possible. You know, you use biosecurity, you prevent diseases. For example, you try as much as possible to prevent rodents, that's rats, from gaining access into your chicken area, because if they do, they can bring a lot of diseases, example salmonellosis, into your chicken house, and your chickens may contract the disease and come down with it. But if you have prevented the access of rats into your chicken house, that means you have prevented that disease from happening on your farm. Those are the steps of biosecurity. You try to seal the corners, the crevices, the openings, the cracks in the wall. You try to seal them just to ensure that unauthorized access is not given to rats. And even the netting that you do, you try to make it a secure netting that would not allow for rats. There are some nets that would prevent rats from entering, and there are a lot of them that will still allow rats to enter. And it has to be a conscious something. If your carpenter is coming to work, if your engineer is doing the work, you have to tell them, they have to know and do the work in such a way that they prevent entrance of rats into the chicken house. So that's just one of it. There are a lot. There are a lot of things that you can do. How you plan your poultry, the fencing, how you separate the chicken area from the sales area if you are into egg production, and all those things. Okay, this person is asking if you can mix, you're practicing organic poultry, and can you also use some vet drugs? Yeah, that wouldn't be organic poultry. That wouldn't be, your birds will not be organic. Even may not be able to classify them as naturally raised because you have actually combined both organic and synthetic, the conventional way of raising them. But what's the advantage to this? It means that if you have good knowledge of how to use herbs and spices to treat certain diseases, you could use it. And probably here comes a day and you are so tired, or this particular disease, you are not so sure of how to treat it organically, then you can just employ the conventional way, the synthetic drugs, and you use. In that way, you know that at least you are reducing the level of antibiotics that you are introducing into the system of your birds. So I think it's still better than just doing synthetic. It's still a lot better. And most people actually start this way before they take it fully organic. And one reason why we cannot even say that our birds are fully organic is that if until you start giving them organic feeds that you are sure of the source of the ingredients, that those ingredients were not grown using chemicals, using herbicides, using uh, synthetic fertilizers, and all those things. So until you can ascertain that those things are not part of the uh, ingredients, you can't say you are having 100% organic chickens. Okay, but at least we can say we raise them naturally, as natural as possible, if we are able to take out um, antibiotics and in some cases vaccines from the rearing operation. Okay, I'm trying to see if there's any other question. Good evening, good evening. Please, if you are here to click that like button, please do if you think you like and you want to see more of the School of Poetry. And also, if you're here to subscribe to the channel, you want to do that. You want to do that. It's very important. It means a lot to us. Okay, so is it that the topic of vaccines and biosecurity? Is it that a lot of people don't? Is it complex? Because I'm not seeing as much questions as I expect. Okay, if you have any other question, please throw it in, and let's address it quickly. So some people would ask, what's in it? What's in this organic poultry farming course? This video edition, what's in it for us? Let me just check. Let me bring up some of the things that we would gain. Some of the things that you will gain if you are part of the course. Okay, so here I have that it's a fresh introduction to organic poultry farming as a practice and then as a business. There's difference between just doing something and then making it a business. So I'm going to introduce you to organic poultry farming as both a practice and then as a business. If you understand the business side of it, then you see that there is a lot of benefit to this thing called organic poultry. And then I'll teach you how to use organic poultry to make a big name for your farm and for yourself. You discover how people are gaining international attention and opportunities just because they practice organic poultry farming. And this is true. This is true. There are certain things that are only open, there are certain opportunities that are only open to you because you practice organic poultry. Okay. And you discover why people fail in organic poultry. It's not that people don't know that there's something called organic poultry. There are a lot of farmers who are aware of what, okay, there are people going around and they're crazy about organic poultry. They are aware, but then they have also seen people fail, or maybe they themselves have failed. Some people just launch at it with insufficient knowledge, and you are bound to fail because poultry is a big deal and you have to know what you're doing. So I'll show you why people fail so that you won't fail in organic poultry or as an organic poultry farmer. And you discover the herbs, yeah, the herb that saved my 5 weeks broilers from green poop. Green poop or greenish poop is a common problem, is a regular problem with broiler farming. And most farmers report this problem when their chickens are approaching that market weight. When they are around 4 to 5 weeks, they say, they are, the poo is green and all that. They are sick, they can't really walk, they are weak. I'm going to show you the herb that saved my 5 weeks broilers from green poo. Then you discover how to reset your broiler digestive system, and improve their health 10 times by 10 times. Yeah, using just one cheap organic agent. This alone has helped some of my clients save millions. Yeah, it is true. Whether you're raising just 200 birds or even 2,000, 5,000 birds, I've had people who are introduced to just one organic agent and they were able to reset. It's more like things were going bad. They couldn't understand what was going on with their birds. And with just this organic agent, they were able to reset the whole thing. Sometimes our phones start misbehaving, our computers start misbehaving, and all you need to do is just someone could ask you, have you tried resetting it? All you need is just a reset. So I'm going to show you the reset button, that thing that helps you to press the reset button uh, in the life of your broilers. Okay, so I'll also show you how to snatch from my app shelf my new herbal formulation that destroy diseases or destroy disease pathogens like there is no tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm going to be handing to especially those who will be among the first 50 is certain, because if a million people register for the course, I don't think I have a million bottles of that wonderful elixir to give you. But it's sure that if you are part of the first 50, you're going to get a bottle. So this bottle is more like my free gift to you. Sometimes people want that one that was made by DIY Hagrick. Yeah, this is an opportunity for you to get that, and it's for free. I'm going to give you for free. Okay, so you'll find out if poultry vaccines are a necessary evil or something we have to throw away completely. I'll tell you my story. I'll tell you my story of saying no to vaccines, whether you should say no to vaccines or you should consider it as, it has come to stay. It's part of the poultry industry. Okay, I'll tell you where to stand. I'll show you where I stand and where you should stand. Okay, so forget about the trouble of measuring herbs. Take my measurement table. I'm going to give you a measurement table where you find all those dosage and usage methodology so that you don't have to worry yourself. You don't have to say, oh, this one I don't have measurement for it. I'm confused. No, that's not going to be your story again. Okay. And in case you still believe there's magic, yeah, I think I mentioned this, that there's magic in my hands. Yeah, I know some of you believe there's magic in my hands. So I have limited number of my Wonder Elixir to give the first set of people that pay. I'll give them for free. Okay. So the herb may not cure poultry diseases, but it could be everything that you need. Trust me, if you're raising a couple of birds or even a lot of them and your biosecurity is uptight, I can tell you that this could just be everything that you need. Okay. It may not solve all poultry problems, it may not treat all diseases, but I can tell you that it may be all that you need. Trust me. Okay. So don't ask me for another. All right, because when some of you use it, you're going to have to ask me for more. But don't ask me for another one. Why? Because I'll teach you how to make it yourself. That's crazy. I was supposed to keep it as a secret because it's a unique formula. But those who enroll in this masterclass, I'll teach you how to make it yourself. But in case you want that one made by me, make sure you're one of the first 50 that will register. Already we are closing in on 50. The number is rising because people are loving to go organic. People are loving to eat healthy. Even if, as a farmer, even if you cannot produce all of your birds organically, make sure that the ones that you eat, the ones that you give to your family, and the one that you sell to your premium customers who are able to pay any amount that you call, make sure it is organic. Trust me, you will be happy you do that. Okay, so you discover how to make the feed that prevents diseases and makes your chickens perform wonderfully. Yeah, we're also going to be adding a little bit of feed formulation or feed making. What makes your feed uh an enemy to diseases? What makes your feed harmed and prepared to tackle diseases? I'm going to show you all that. Okay, this is so rich. This course is so rich. And I know you're wondering, will this work for layers? I'll teach you organic poultry for layers. A lot of people believe that it's not possible for you to raise layers organically, but we'll see if it's possible or not in this particular course. And there's so much more, all in video format, so you can see with your eyes and never forget what you see. Yeah, it's a fact that what you see sticks better than what you read. And that's one of the main reasons why I decided to take this course to the next level and prepare the video format. Okay. So if you want to join the course, if you are, you can't wait, you're saying, oh, I'm all in for this, just send me a message on WhatsApp. Send me a message on my WhatsApp line. I believe you should have it. If you don't have it, that's it on the screen. Send me a message on 070649533738 on WhatsApp, and you'll be able to make your way to the class. Okay, it's not free and it's starting on 5th of August. But apart from that date that it's starting, registration, the earlier the better. Those who are paying 15,000 are the first 50 participants. So we are closing in on 50 already. So make sure you are part of those who will enjoy that discount. And after that, even if I charge 50,000, it's still worth more than the value of the. I mean, it's worth more than the amount you are paying. And of course, you are not paying 50K. It will be 25,000 after the first 50 people are complete. So try as much as possible to make it and be one of the first 50. But even if you can't make that, you just go for it anyways. It's still going to be more than what you pay. All right. So what else? What else? What else? I think I saw. Oh, someone is saying I joined a little late today. Okay, so next time try as much as possible to set a reminder and join earlier. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so I think you guys want us to close early today, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. We have spent about 30 minutes together, and that might just be enough. But again, I'll bring it back. Let me bring it back to you. Our discussion for today: vaccine and biosecurity, trying to see which is or which should be on top of your list. But we found that you need to do the two. And if at all you want to give the win to one, it's going to be biosecurity, because in a way it swallows or um, embodies vaccine. Vaccine is just under that big umbrella of biosecurity. So you must know what you're doing in terms of biosecurity. You must be able to prevent diseases as much as possible. Don't let visitors come to your farm uninvited. Make sure that there are restricted areas that are only for workers, and even the workers should have routine or practices. When they are entering the pen, they should change their clothes, dip their feet in the food dip, do all those necessary things to prevent any foreign particle, any foreign agent, any disease from entering your farm and taking down your birds and increasing your cost of production, because you're going to have to buy drugs and all that. Okay, so biosecurity would be hit for a lot of us, and I think there's no one who has opposed that. Most of the people who have commented like in that regard, they have also supported biosecurity. Okay, so thank you all for joining us today. Once again, this is DIY Agric, your number one animal scientist and your poultry success partner. So if you're here to follow me on Instagram, the handle is Poultry Success Partner. Poultry Success Partner. Do well to follow on Instagram, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and follow on Facebook and the likes. Just make sure that you stay close to DIY Agri, because I'm that number one guy who wants you to succeed in poultry farming, and I'm putting out videos to do just that. So I have courses that are more organized, more arranged to help you deal with specific problems. You want to be able to raise broilers, I have a course that addresses that. It's called the Raising Broilers Like a Pro Masterclass. And if you want to be a pro layer farmer making millions from the eggs that your girls lay, then you have my egg production masterclass that teaches you everything you need to know from start to finish in such a way that you're able to maximize the potential of your layer chickens. And then the one that we are kicking off, or yeah, the one we're starting very soon, which people are already registering for, is the organic poultry video masterclass. It's a video masterclass, and it's loaded. It's loaded. It's a way that you treat chickens with herbs and spices, such that you eat wholesome food, you eat healthy food. You're able to also provide it to your customers who are interested in eating well, eating healthy, because they have what it takes to pay for it, and you are the right person to provide it to them. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to take this last question before we end this last one before we go. Good evening, brother. How are you doing today and your family? My question is this: what's the best feed to feed broilers for fast growing? How many bags of feed is good for 1,000 birds? That's a big question. There's no feed that I would mention here, but certainly there are feeds that they may be on the higher side. But what you really need to look for is how much of protein do they have? Do they have the protein that would meet the nutritional requirements of my broilers at a particular age? There are fish that will have 23% protein, crude protein for their super starter, and while some may have 20, 21. So definitely from that, you know that the one with the higher protein will aid faster growth. So that's it. And generally would say if you are raising your birds for about or let's say 6 weeks, if you are using from you should be able to do well with 18 bags, and that's 180 bags for 1,000 birds. You may be able to use less than that and still get good results. Depends on your target weight too. If your target weight is 2, then you can achieve that in just 5 weeks. Not be able to use up to 18 bags per 100 bird, or even 180 per 1,000. Okay, so that's the logic. Yeah, there's no direct answer to how much of feed or how many bags of feed you use for 1,000 birds. It has to be pegged on what is the kg live weight that you want to achieve, how for how long do you want to raise the bird. So those are also questions you want to answer before you can say this is the quantity of feed that you will feed. But then if you are selling your birds from 5 to 6 weeks, you should be looking at the FCR of the FCR of 2 is too much, is too poor. You should be looking at FCR of maybe 1.9, 1.84, 1.8 something. That would be good. Okay, so that can also help you to know how much of feed you will use for that weight target that you have. All right, so that's it for today. Once again, this is DIY Agric, your number one animal scientist and your poultry success partner. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.